V-Mart Retail is the next company that we are talking about. The stock is down over 30% from its 52-week high. To discuss the demand environment, how it is impacting competition, impacted by rising competition, we have Mr. Lalit Agarwal, founder and managing director at V-Mart Retail, joining in now. Sir, the conversation, Mr. Agarwal, good morning, Prashant here, does not change because some of the factors are still there, right? Top of mind is competition from players like Reliance. But it's not just Reliance now. Tatas have gotten into the low-value fashion kind of segment in a large way. At least there are large plans. So that is one. I want you to sort of talk about that. Has that intensified? There are other players, more players getting into your segment as well. So let's just start with that. And then I want to talk about the underlying kind of demand conditions. Monsoon has been deficient in many parts of the countries. I don't know, in areas that you operate in, the big markets for you in the north, are those kind of also seeing that, and what is the impact of that? Go on, sir.
Good morning. Certainly, India is promising, Bharat is promising, so people are getting aware that the consumption is bound to increase. People are more aspirational, people want to consume. So more and more retailers and more products are getting lined up for the consumers of Bharat, and that's something which should have happened, and it is happening now. So I think this is a good news, and it's good news because the market is such a large market, and there's so much to do, and everyone can come in with their kind of proposition, and because there are so many personas that the customers have, and with different personas you need different kind of value, because value is something which is the most important. Most of the global companies in the world are largely value driven companies and value fashion companies. So I think value fashion is something which is definitely bound to do very well in India, and that is what is being seen by a lot of other industries and retailers and conglomerates. So, and which is getting accepted, whether it is Reliance or Tata, and they're finding it very interesting. They have taken up a particular niche segment, especially Tata has got into a new format, which is bringing in a new, what I call urban youth mindset people who want to consume a particular kind of product lines at value, and that's what is happening. So I think the marketing is becoming very, very interesting in value fashion space. And that is definitely making more excitement and creating more consumption, because normally fashion is viral, and then more and more people consume fashion, more and more people want to buy more fashion and look pretty better. So I think that's happening, and I know these are difficult times in the market where you have more store coming in, more players walking in. At times, it takes little bit of time to increase the consumer base. But there is also a large transition which is happening from the mom and pop and unorganized to also organized, which is also being seen. So I think largely we believe the market is going to become better. There are a lot of players who are going to experiment and try and expand a little more aggressively. We'll see a lot of things happening, and we have seen a lot of things which has happened in the past 1 decade. So I think it is definitely going to be better. Market has been quite okay. Monsoon is definitely a very, very important fundamental for the consumption, especially rural consumption, we say, and largely our rural consumptions are dependent upon monsoon and agri income. So
got it.
There is definitely a bad news or not a very good news in these 2 months or 1.5 months.
Mr. Agarwal, got it. I understood the demand situation is not as bad as perhaps what it was earlier, but just wanted to quickly address the Aeroflex listing. It just happened, I think, a while back, and it's not a great listing. I mean, 65% higher. On day one. I think it's listed at about 176 rupees, now 180 rupees on Aeroflex. And that's a strong listing that we've seen. It's into, manufacturing of braided hoses, solar hoses, basically hoses, vacuum hoses, etc. So, and the company has spoken about very strong growth that they're looking at. It's metallic, flexible, products that they're looking at in terms of manufacturing. So, good opening for that particular counter. But Mr. Agarwal, I agree the demand has picked up, but can you give us the exact number on what the same-store sales growth would look like? Because in the quarter gone by, the growth was not that great. And, for the full year, what are you looking at, FY24?
So we are expecting some growth to come in this particular year from a like-for-like level. And then we will see some growth. As of now, in this first half, it has been a little dull and a little more flattish kind of approach. But yeah, in the second half, because largely the festivals are getting shifted to the third quarter largely, and we will see a very good quarter three. And that's what we are expecting. And I think even the consumption is going to bounce back. So we'll see some positive low single-digit like-for-like same-store sales growth.
Okay, low single-digit growth for the full year is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so low single-digit same-store sales growth. Got that. Can you give us an outlook on your margins as well? There's been a steep fall in margins. Is it because of competition, pricing pressure? I think you're sitting on almost 13% margins now, and you used to enjoy 20% margins earlier. Is there more margin pressure that you're looking at? And if yes, what could the ballpark range be?
No, I think we are very comfortable on the margin. That's the margin that we focus on. Largely, our margin also getting impacted because of our two acquisitions that we did, an Unlimited acquisition in Southern India, which is not giving the similar margin, and then the online acquisition of LimeRoad, where we have to invest money and which is not creating positive EBITDA right now. So there is a little bit of pressure on those front, but on the main V-Mart business, I think we are getting a good margin, and there will be some pressure because the cost of the raw material had gone up. It has not gone down too much, but the consumers don't want to pay too high, and because of the competition as well, you need to keep your prices very sharp. So there will be some pressure on the margin, but I can't give you a forward figure on the margin. But yeah, we'll be averaging as per the last year.
Got it. Mr. Agarwal, when we speak with investors, and there are some marquee investors in your company, the general sentiment is it's a great company, very well run, but finds itself in a tough kind of operating environment it has for the last couple of years. Will you have to do something different? I mean, innovate or do something different, or you think, one investor should get used to these kind of growth rates?
No, I think we should expect, and definitely our economy also and our consumption also has got impact apart from the competition which is coming. So I think these are transition moments, and these are also transitioning moments for our Indian economy from informal economy to a formal economy. So there's a lot of loss. I mean, customers are getting into also a swing, and our self-employed people are also getting into a different kind of income environment. So there's a lot of change happening in the Indian economy, and plus I think this is definitely going to come back, and the consumption is going to grow. We are going to grow by almost 15-16% in this particular year at a total level. So we are not looking at a low growth. We definitely want to increase it further, but yeah, it will take some time because of the economic situation. But I don't think the investors should be worried, or the ground is not good. The consumption, the kind of 5 trillion economy that our Prime Minister is speaking of, we are anticipating a very good consumption growth, which is going to come in. And as soon as the GDP or the per capita income grows for the consumer of our segment, it is definitely going to lead into more consumption of fashion.
Got it. We'll leave it there, Mr. Agarwal. Good luck, and it's always great hearing from you, sir. Appreciate it very much here on CNBC-TV18.